In the next decade, Vietnam is forecasted to have the fastest asset growth rate in the world. But what has driven this impressive development? From a developing economy, Vietnam is gradually becoming a global manufacturing hub, attracting significant investment from major corporations such as Apple, Samsung, and Intel. Vietnam is becoming an important part of the global semiconductor supply chain and has the potential to compete with China. According to a report from research firm Technavio, the semiconductor market in Vietnam is expected to grow by an additional $1.65 billion during the 2021 to 2025 period, with a compound annual growth rate of around 6.52% per year. The increase in consumer demand is the direct cause of the strong growth of semiconductor factories in Vietnam, attracting foreign direct investment from many international companies in recent years. Vietnam is known as an emerging market in Asia for the semiconductor sector. You might think that achieving the fastest growth rate in the next decade is a remarkable feat, but what's truly impressive is Vietnam's incredible journey of transformation. In just one generation, this country has risen from being one of the poorest nations in the world to a middle-income economy, an astonishing shift. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Knowledge Compass. Today, let's explore Vietnam's remarkable path to development. When talking about Vietnam, many young people think of a vibrant Southeast Asian destination with stunning landscapes, rich cuisine, and a dynamic lifestyle. But for the older generation, Vietnam was once seen as a poor, war-torn country where people struggled through years of hardship. However, those memories have now faded. Today, Vietnam is rising strong. Ho Chi Minh City is bustling with the sound of motorbikes and lively energy, while Hanoi is modern with high-rise buildings and thriving industrial zones. A new generation full of ambition is shaping the future, making Vietnam a shining star on the global economic map. Vietnam was under French colonial rule for nearly a century, becoming part of the Indochina Federation along with Laos and Cambodia. During this time, the country's resources were exploited. The people endured forced labor and were burdened with heavy taxes. Growing resentment fueled the revolutionary movement led by Ho Chi Minh. After years of seeking international support, Ho Chi Minh led the Viet Minh forces against the French colonizers. Despite efforts for peace negotiations, the conflict escalated into war in 1946. The war lasted nearly a decade and ended in 1954 with France's defeat. Vietnam gained independence, but was divided into two regions, North and South, marking the beginning of a tumultuous period. Tensions between the North, led by Ho Chi Minh, and the South, supported by the United States, escalated. Fearing the spread of communism, the U.S. intervened deeply in the Vietnam War. The war lasted for 20 years, causing devastating destruction and heavy losses. In 1975, the war ended with the fall of the Saigon government, and the country was reunified under a socialist regime. However, after the war, Vietnam faced numerous challenges. The economy was devastated, infrastructure was destroyed, and millions of people lost their homes. The scars of war remained, from the consequences of bombs to the effects of chemical agents. The post-war period was a time of great difficulty as the country had to find ways to recover and develop. Recognizing the need for change in 1986, Vietnam implemented the Doi Moi renovation policy, shifting from a centralized economy to a socialist-oriented market economy. Economic reforms, such as allowing farmers to manage their own production, opening up the market, and attracting foreign investment, helped Vietnam gradually rise, escape poverty, and become the dynamic and developing economy it is today. However, fully tapping into the potential of these reforms initially faced obstacles due to the U.S. trade embargo. The embargo imposed in 1975 as a legacy of the Vietnam War hindered Vietnam's economic development. However, when the United States officially lifted the embargo in 1994, Vietnam's economy began to undergo significant transformations. Among the first corporations to recognize Vietnam's potential were Nike and Adidas. Nike quickly set up a factory in Vietnam just 1 year after the embargo was lifted, and Adidas followed suit. These companies saw a huge opportunity. Vietnam offered a favorable investment environment along with a low-cost labor force. Today, Nike collaborates with more than 100 suppliers in Vietnam. Since the 2000s, Adidas has also continuously expanded its production scale with numerous factories across the country. By 2021, Vietnam had become Adidas's largest footwear manufacturing hub, contributing about 40% of the brand's total output. In the same year, Vietnam exported footwear to over 100 countries, with a total value of around $17.8 billion. Today, many major fashion brands like Zara and H&M have also established factories in Vietnam. The total foreign direct investment (FDI) in Vietnam has reached $455 billion, with nearly 40,000 FDI businesses, including over 1,300 companies in the fashion industry. The growth of manufacturing factories has created millions of jobs for Vietnamese workers. In 2011, about 21% of the workforce was employed in industry and manufacturing, a figure that has now risen to over 33%. Not only are there blue-collar jobs, but management positions and high-skilled jobs are also increasing. However, not everything is perfect. Some companies still engage in labor exploitation and violate workers' rights. Despite this, overall, Vietnam has undergone significant transformation. From 1993 to 2014, around 40 million people escaped poverty. During this period, the poverty rate dramatically decreased from nearly 60% to just 14%. Vietnam has long been recognized as a potential market for assembly, testing, and packaging, thanks to the presence of factories from major corporations like Intel, Samsung, and Hana Micron. 20 years ago, when Vietnam's semiconductor industry was still in its infancy, a leading Japanese semiconductor design company, Renesas, chose Vietnam to establish a large design center. Today, not only Renesas, but also many top semiconductor design companies such as Global Unichip Corporation and Faraday Technology from Taiwan, and Microchip, Marvell, Synopsys, Qorvo, from the United States have established a presence in Vietnam. With a long-term vision and strong support from the government, many Vietnamese technology companies have boldly invested in research and development, R&D, and international cooperation to adopt advanced chip design technologies, gradually bringing Vietnam deeper into the global semiconductor value chain. In this race, Viettel and FPT are two pioneering Vietnamese companies that have achieved initial successes. FPT has launched its first IoT product applied in the healthcare industry, while Viettel has produced chips for 5G devices, not stopping at design as the leading forces pushing Vietnam's semiconductor industry forward. FPT and Viettel are also aiming to achieve chip production and packaging autonomy in the future. In fact, Vietnam has long been known as one of the world's largest factories, with the presence of numerous factories from leading global brands. For example, Samsung has chosen Vietnam as the base for its largest mobile phone production plant, as well as the manufacturing site for many other electronic products, including refrigerators and televisions. LG Group from South Korea has also established large manufacturing facilities in Haiphong, focusing on consumer electronics, such as televisions and other household electronic devices. Foxconn, Taiwan's largest electronics manufacturer, which assembles products for Apple and many other major brands, has invested over $3 billion to build several electronics manufacturing plants in Vietnam. Along with the development of the assembly and electronics manufacturing industry, the income of the Vietnamese people has steadily improved. Digital transformation is being strongly promoted, leading to a rapid increase in demand for smart electronic devices from the domestic market. This creates potential for Vietnam to become an attractive market for growth in the semiconductor industry. Thanks to the creation of a favorable business environment with tax incentives, investment promotion programs, competitive labor costs, and political stability, Vietnam has become an attractive destination not only for the semiconductor industry, but also for many technology companies, especially electronics manufacturing giants. This provides a solid foundation for Vietnam's gradual development. The automotive industry in Vietnam has seen the presence of major global corporations such as Toyota, Honda, and Ford. However, VinFast, Vietnam's first electric vehicle manufacturer, is currently leading the domestic market share and gradually expanding into international markets. According to a report from the Vietnam Automobile Manufacturers Association, total sales from its members reached 21,606 vehicles in February 2025. Of these, VinFast sold 12,500 electric vehicles, accounting for more than 50% of the domestic car market, 4 times the sales of Toyota Vietnam. Despite receiving some mixed opinions about its electric vehicle models, VinFast continues to listen to feedback and improve its products to enhance the customer experience. Vietnam is asserting its position on the global industrial and technology map thanks to strategic vision, an innovative spirit, and relentless efforts. Progress in the semiconductor, electronics, and electric vehicle sectors is opening up new opportunities, allowing Vietnam to gradually master technology and increase its value in the global supply chain. With strong investments and government support, Vietnam's economy promises to achieve many breakthroughs in the future. What do you think about Vietnam's development? Please share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to stay updated with the latest content. Thank you for watching.